What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my Master Technical Analysis series. I'm Aere, your host. This is video 2 in our series. If you're just finding us based on this video, I'm going to link the playlist down below. Start at video 1 because we set some expectations that you really need to know. Spoiler alert, you're not going to get rich overnight. This is going to take time, work, long hours to learn. But today we're going to be focusing on TradingView. We're going to start getting in the meat potatoes before we can get on to more advanced stuff. You gotta crawl before you can walk, before you can run, right? And that's what we're here to teach you. I'm here to show you my strategies. By no means are they the best strategies, I don't know, but they work for me. So maybe they'll work from you. At the very least, you can take something away at the end of the day. The goal here is to use this as a platform to build your own trading plan, your own trading strategy. You want to really learn from as many people as you can. But without further ado, we're going to hop into it. We're going to talk about TradingView today, how to set it up, what indicators to use, how to set up a watch list. There's a lot to learn. TradingView is your #1 tool. It is where the TA happens. The majority of the TA happens. You need to learn it. You need to know inside and out what the hotkeys are, different time frames, how to set up watch lists, all that stuff. This is a great tool. You cannot be a trader without it. So without further ado, we're going to hop into it. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on notifications. Then last but not least, we have a trading clan. I'm building a community here, discord.gg/Alpha Aere. We post amazing stuff every single day when they're talking, discussing the markets. I post TA, charts, altcoins, all kinds of stuff every single day. First 100 people are going to be grandfathered in. First 100 active people are going to be grandfathered in. Any type of pay gate I do in the future, yes, there's eventually going to be a pay gate. I don't do this out of the kindness of my heart. Right now I am. It's free. Take advantage of it. Let's just jump right into the meat and potatoes here. So there we go. Head on over tradingview.com. Feel free to follow along with me if you're new to this. You can pause the video. That's the beauty of YouTube. Rewind it, set it up, but you're going to want to hit get started. So here's the pricing breakdown. So it's free until you're ready to upgrade. Now, let's face it, everyone has a different budget. I personally recommend the Pro Plus plan. You can do 10 indicators, 4 charts, 100 price alerts, and you can compare and contrast here. But these start to get ad free. And in my opinion, since this is something you want to take on and learn, you probably should start with at the very minimum Pro or Pro Plus. But if you want to just dip your feet in, feel free to sign up for free. I already have an account, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to go ahead and set up a blank account. So I'm going to sign up with my Google account here. So we're set up. We got our account. Very simple. Hit products, super charts right there. So this is a blank starter. This is what you see on entry. So I'm going to walk you through now how to set this up properly. You're going to deviate from this. You're going to learn certain things and you're going to change them over time. And that is fine. Everybody's different. There's not one template for this. I'm just going to show you what I prefer. So to start off, we're going to look at the upper left-hand corner and work our way over and down, just like you're reading a book. So menu is your symbol there. My name's Ben, so it's the B. So you have home. This is just like your main menu. So this hurts my eyes, so I flip on dark mode. To the right of that is your symbol. So default, it just pops up with Apple, right? So you can change any symbol you want here. And there's so much in here. There's pretty much everything from the Federal Reserve, Treasury budgets to all the stocks, cryptos, Forex, et cetera, et cetera. So you can just type in whatever, BTC, right? You need the actual ticker, but you can just type in Bitcoin too, and it should pop it up. There you go. So many exchanges. Now, typically when I'm charting, I use Binance and Binance Perps, but you should be using whatever exchange you use. So for example, if you use Gemini, use Gemini. Chart what you're trading on. So if you're trading Cardano on MEXC Global, right? So you can go to crypto, flip crypto, and then you can actually do exchange right here. And you can select, look at it has like every exchange on here, but you can select MEXC Global right there. So add a Tether perpetual futures contracts. That means you're trading futures contracts on MEXC. When you're doing your TA, this is the chart you should be using. If If you're doing spot plays on Kraken, right? Cardano to US dollar, chart that. The next slide over is this little plus symbol. It's a compare or add symbol. This is very, very powerful. So let's just go back to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, US dollar on Kraken, whatever. So we can compare this to whatever. So if we want to compare it to the S&P 500, there you go. So you can actually change this as well. So you have your symbols here. So you can just hover over the S&P one, click on settings, style, and then you can make this line, bars, candles. Let's just do candles. There you go. And you can kind of see here how it was following, right? It's deviated a little bit this year, but you can compare and contrast symbols. It's a pretty cool, pretty powerful tool to compare, and you can compare altcoins as well. So if we want to compare it to Cardano, we want to compare Bitcoin to Cardano, we can throw that on there as well. You can see it's deviated quite a bit. Altcoins have deviated from Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is rising, but that is a powerful tool that you should know about, so you can compare symbols to each other. And then to remove those off your chart, this is your indicator bar up here. So you can just hover over like the S&P that we added, hit X, it'll remove it. Hover over the ADA, hit X, and it'll remove it. Next, we got the time frames to the right of the plus sign up in the top left-hand corner. Default, it's just daily, right? So if you click it, you have all the other time frames, and you can do custom time frames at the very, very bottom down here, right? Weeks, months, a range. So to add time frames to the hotbar to the top, all you need to do is hit this, hover over it, and hit the star symbol. So I want the 1 minute on there. I want the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. The daily's already on there. We're gonna do the week, the month. We're gonna do the year. So you can add specific time frames on there. Like I like to trade, and this is just personal preference, right? I'm gonna add the 7 minute on there. I guess I can't do custom intervals on the free plan, which is why I always suggest doing a pro or a plus plan 100%. But that will be a good starter point. So I'm going to show you quickly my chart so you can see here. These are all the time frames I have. I do custom ones too sometimes. But 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 15, 30, 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 16, 22, day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, week, 2 week, and month. And then that allows you just to quickly switch by clicking on your short list, sort keys, whatever you want to call it, but the menu at the top, right? You can just quickly cycle through the different time frames. The next is the appearance of the chart. So to the right of your time frames is the candles. So I think it comes automatic with Heikin-Ashi candles. Whether you use Heikin-Ashi or regular candles is up to you. That is personal preference. Pretty much everything on this chart is personal preference, and it's highly customizable. I use both candles. If I don't see something on regular candles, I flip to Heikin-Ashi candles and back and forth. I check both of them constantly. I would say I use regular candles more often than not, but I use both. Hollow candles, you can make it a line. You can switch this to whatever you want. So for this video, we are just going to keep it on regular candles. But what's Heikin-Ashi candles? What's regular candles? Well, this part comes from you having to kind of do some of this research yourself. If you don't understand something, pause the video right now, Google it, learn what that means. To the right of that, you have your indicators. This is where you throw your indicators, your metrics, and your strategies onto the chart. So if we click into it, you have everything here. So I'm not going to go into what indicators to add yet. We will in this video, but this is where you would add it. So if there's something you want to add, like RSI, you just type it in here, RSI, there it is. You can add it to your favorites by just clicking on the star next to it. If you subscribe to TradingView, the Pro Plus plan, and you buy indicators, there are indicators for sale, very powerful tools. Some of you have probably heard about Lux Algo or Market Cipher. Those are some of the indicators that I use. What'll happen is they will appear right down here. It'll say invite only scripts. So when you sign up for Lux Algo, you got to put in your TradingView name and they'll invite you to it. So you could add it on there. Another thing with indicators is there's a little arrow to the right of it. You click that and your favorite indicators are right there. RSI, it'll just pop right on there. So if you have to remove it, if you run out of room, remove it, add a different one, remove it, add a different one. If you get to your max limit, free is 5, pro I think is 7, pro plus is 10. Again, favorite indicators are set by hitting the star next to the indicator that you're searching. And there are thousands, tons of them. To the right of that is your indicator templates, these 4 squares here. So if you click that, you can actually save this, give it a name, say RSI, and then maybe had a few other things on there. You can just do slash, whatever those are, or whatever you want to call it, right? So this one, we're just going to call it RSI. We're going to hit save. And then that indicator template is saved. You can use this on any chart, right? So if you want 5 indicators on one chart, 3 on another, 5 on another, and you want to flip between them, you can do that with this. This is a very, very powerful tool. Sometimes it can get messy if you have all your indicators turned on one chart. It can get very confusing and very messy. Maybe you want a couple templates that you can switch between quickly. This comes in very handy. To the right of the indicators and indicator templates, you can create an alert. Now there's a short for that, which is Alt-A. There's also another, shortcut for that. You can just right click on the chart, add alert. So you can also add alert on things you draw on there. So if you want an alert where when Bitcoin crosses this particular trend line, right click it, add alert on trend line. So when Bitcoin crosses this alert, it's gonna cross it. But you can do it on the chart. You can make a horizontal line. We're gonna get into shortcuts in a little bit, but it's Alt-H. Maybe you want an alert when Bitcoin's gonna cross this line, just hit create. And now you have an alert on that line. So when Bitcoin crosses that line, it's going to trigger. So you can go back into it. You can edit the alert, and you can do it when it's crossing up, crossing down, less than, moving up percentage, moving down percentage. Give the alert a name. Only once per bar close, once per minute. So you can highlight these. You can do notify in the app on your phone, show a pop-up. It can send an email, webhook, play sound. These are very highly customizable, and you need to be setting alerts. We'll get into that again throughout this series. The next is replay, used for back testing your strategies. If you're not using replay, if you've never used replay, you're doing it wrong. You need to back test all your strategies, all your plans. You can back test bear flags, bull flags, etc., etc. Now this, you do need to be a subscriber to Pro or Pro Plus. It does not work in the free plan. So I'm going to flip over to my actual TradingView, and we're going to just take a look at how you would use something like this. So how you would use something like this is this. So you noticed that, hey, there's a little bit of a flag going on here, right? We had a big drop off. You take your measured move from the impulse to the bottom. You got your measured move breakout. So you're targeting kind of a 29,338-ish. Put an Alt-H, make a horizontal line there. So now we're going to play it. Boom. There you go, right? It's just a fun way to test your strategies. So how you would do that is you just hit the replay button and then hit the replay button. There we go. So you can see how it's starting to erase. They're starting to darken out. So you're going to erase those. This is just good to test your strategy. If there, so you put it there, it erases it. So then all you do is you draw on the chart, do whatever you want. Then you can hit play on the bottom down here, and you can do the replay speed to, maybe you want 3 times. Then you just hit play, and it'll go. It'll show you. And it's great for also journaling, like we talked about in the first video, and trying to figure out where you went wrong. For example, let's say that you took a short right here, right? Let's say you took a short right here. You thought, hey, whatever reasoning, whatever methodology you came to it, you thought it was going to go short here. And let's say it went up, and it's been going up slowly, surely, mostly sideways chop. These are just examples, general examples, quick examples. But let's say it went up and you got stomped out, you lost a position. So what you can do is replay it, right? Erase to where you entered in at, right there, and then replay it with all your indicators turned on, right? Say to yourself, hey, I took a short here, but it went up. So what did I see? What did I see that told me long? And now that you know it went up, what are the charts saying? What are the indicators saying? What is the money flow? What is the VWAP? What is all this stuff saying to make it have gone up? Because I promise you, you missed something. And then journal that out, learn from your mistakes. Next to that is just undo and redo. So you can Control Z, like it's Control Z for everything on the internet, for Microsoft Word, for Google Documents. Control Z is just like undo, right? So if you hit Control Z, or let's just do this. Let's make a line there. You say, oops, you can just hit Control Z, right? So to redo, you just hit Control Y, just like you would everywhere else. Control Y. So Control Z, Control Y, or you can just hit these for undo and redo. All the way over to the right is your layout. And this is the layout I use. I mean, you can play around with these if you want, but I just use the number 1 basic layout. And then this is your chart, right? You can do a new chart, new layout. For example, if I want one for training, or if I want one for trend lines, or I want one for this or that, you can load multiple charts and you can quickly switch between them. You can rename them. So I want this one to be called training. Just hit save. This is now your training chart. So this is the most important thing on the entire menu. This is saving your work. So if you draw one thing on the chart, now it'll auto save it a lot of time, but sometimes it won't. So if you add a bunch of indicators and you get your chart set up and you don't save and you leave it, or you exit out, or your computer shuts off, all your work is done. So be in the habit of clicking this save a ton, right? So there is a hotkey for it. So if you just draw a bunch of crap, you can see that saves lit up over there. A lot of times it'll auto save it for you, but if not, just hit Control S, or you can just click on that and it'll save it for you. But you should be in the habit of saving often. If you guys have ever watched me TA, you know that I use kind of the marker a lot, and I draw a bunch of stuff just to kind of highlight it. So if you hit Control Z, you can keep hitting it slowly so you don't remove anything important to get rid of them all. So you can hit it multiple times. And if I want to put them back, Control Y, right? Control Z, hit it a bunch of times. So the multiple layouts, or the managing the layouts, this little down arrow here. So everything that we've set up so far is a layout. So you can have multiple of these. If you want one for stocks, one for crypto, if you want one for Bitcoin, one for Cardano, or et cetera, et cetera. If you have unlimited, you can customize them all individually. They are just different layouts. So this is think of it like a template, right? This is everything we've done, what you're looking at is a template. You can have many of them. So this template's all saved up. I'm going to click this. We're going to make a new template, right? So hit new template there. I can't because we're on basic. You can only have one. Pro is 5, Pro Plus is 10. So let's flip over to my actual chart here. You can see I have multiple templates here. Training, drawings, TA, a blank one. Mostly I use Aere's chart, but if we want to make a new layout, just hit new layout there. And it's blank, right? My watch list is the same, but it's blank, and there's nothing on here, no indicators, nothing. I can flip right back to my main layout just by clicking this little down arrow up here next to the template and go to my main chart. So you can flip between them. Make sure you're saving often though. And then after that, the rest of this is pretty much just menu stuff. You can search for tools or functions here. So if there's something on the chart that you see someone else doing or whatever, and you can't find it, you can definitely search it here. Like you want eraser or you want line, you can just type it in there and find it. The next is the menu. So if you click on the menu here, everything on here is highly customizable. I'm not going to go through this. You're going to have to kind of go through this yourself. I'll probably leave it on default till you become expert. One thing I would do is change the time zone to your time zone. So I'm in the central time zone. So I'm going to click right there, Chicago, and hit OK. But you can customize candle colors. You can customize so much stuff. You can actually do price lines, high and low, previous day close, bid and ask if you want, precision. I wouldn't mess with any of this stuff. Status line. I would leave everything the same. So you can make the canvas different colors. So you can switch from gradient to solid. It changes it. You can switch the color. Let's switch it to black, whatever. Grid lines, vertical and horizontal. You can change those as well. pane separators. So you can highly customize this. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Play around with it a little bit, and then just hit OK. To the right of the chart settings is your full screen mode. You can click it, it'll go full screen. You can take a snapshot. If you see people sharing charts, this is where they're sharing it from. So if you click it, you can download an image. You can just copy the image, right? So you can just copy the image. It copies it to your clipboard. You can just hit Control V for paste wherever. You can copy a link to it. You can tweet an image. You can open an image in a new tab. But this is where people share them from. You can also publish it if you want to share it with the community. I don't really ever do that. I usually just copy image and paste the chart. So I've covered the entire top portion. You should be familiar with this. Maybe you watch this video a couple times. Maybe you set it up along with me like you probably should be doing. But the next thing is your tool bar. This is very, very important. First one is your crosshair. So you can change it to a dot or an arrow if you want, but they all do the same thing, which is move the chart around. So pretty simple. There's an eraser here as well, which can erase any of the lines. So what you can do is you can click the eraser and just click on the bar and it'll go away. Now, easier than that is literally, so let's say you have a line or you have a drawing or whatever. So let's say we have a line and a drawing, right? So you can actually just take your crosshair, click it, delete. Click it, delete. Now, another really cool thing is you're going to find yourself using a handful of these most of the times. So you can favorite them just like anything else. So you want your crosshair to be number one. So when you hover over the tools, the toolbar, you see there's a little arrow to the right of it there, the cursors. So click it, and then you can add it to favorites, and then your little favorite bar pops up right here. And you can actually drag that around and place it anywhere. I usually just keep it up top. That'll stay there forever. So down below are your lines, your regression trends, anchored VWAP, trend line, raise. So trend lines, you're going to use those, trust me. Maybe you'll use arrows, but the point is whatever you find yourself using more often than not, favorite them, because they will always be up here. That way you don't have to always go searching through the menu for them. So you got your line there, you got your arrow there, and then your crosshair, right? Just remember, make sure again you're saving often. Below that are your Fibonacci retracement tools, tons of them. Below that is your marker, your pens, brush. You can do a path, boom, 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 right? And again, you can favorite any of these. Path, you can do curve, triangles, you can do a rectangle, a circle, highlighter, brush. Brush is my favorite. And then you can actually customize them. So let's say you want brush and you want to favorite it. So you can have your brush right here. You see it here. You can make it thicker. You can change the color if you want something to stand out like yellow. There you go. It's always going to be that way now. So make sure you hit save and it'll always be that way. Right? Boom. There you go. Below that, you can add text, anchor text, tweet, signpost. You can put emojis on here. You can put notes. You can play around with all this stuff. You want to mark arrow left. Boom. There's an arrow. You want to mark arrow right, up, down. It's all right there for you. So below that, we have your long position, short position, forecast. You can find a date range, right? So boom, there you go. That is 2 days, 7 hours, 30 minutes. It's 111 bars. Projections, fixed range, volume profile, which I don't know if this is going to let me on the free version. It does. So that's actually cool that it does that on the free version. So we're not going to go over this stuff in this video. This is not a how to TA. This is an initial how to set it up, but you can see the volume here. So you can see where the kind of the POC is right there in the middle. We'll go over this in a later video. I'm not even going to do it now, but you got your emojis here, right? You want to put a happy smiley face there. There you go. You have your measure. You want to measure a move, which you can just do shift and click on the chart, and then you can drag it down or up. If you want to measure a move, a volume, a candle that you're measuring, zoom in, zoom out. Magnet mode snaps drawings placed near price bars to the closest OHLC value. Magnet mode is on. Drawing anchors will be snapped to the closest values of nearby bars. So that's just going to be a personal preference thing. But so it's just snapping it to the bar. So you see how when I move this around close to it, it snaps it to the bar. It's kind of handy. So if you want to snap that to that bar and snap it to that bar, it'll do that. So when you turn it off, it's just kind of like free mode. It's not going to snap it to a bar. Below that, it's just locking, right? So you can lock, stay in drying mode. You can lock all drying tools. And then here, this is pretty cool. So you can hide all drawings, clean up your chart, and you can show all drawings again. Hide, show. So you can also hide drawings, hide indicators, hide position in orders, and then just hide all. So Control-Alt-H, that's what it is. Control-Alt-H is your hiding shortcut. And we'll go over those in a little bit. Bottom left-hand corner down here, this little star, that's showing this, which is your favorite tool. So if you can turn that on, boom, it disappears, and off, this little toolbar up here. That's the toolbar. There's a lot there to learn, so play around with it. I can't walk you through every single one. You got to kind of dig in to some of this stuff yourself. Next is your watch list. So this is just all your tickers for stocks, for futures, for Forex, indices, crypto, what have you. This is all highly customizable. This is the basic one that it comes with. Now you can erase, you can click the X, you can highlight over them, click the X. You can hit the plus here to add a symbol. You can have multiple watch lists. You can create a new list. So how you customize this is up to you. I have multiple watch lists and I feel like I erase them and change them all the time. Here is what my watch list looks like. So the top part of it is how I would set up at all of yours. So you have whatever your main trading platform is. I would have Bitcoin.perps and then Bitcoin, right? Total market cap. So ticker's total. Total 2 is total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Total 3 is total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is all your alts. Bitcoin dominance. BTC.D is the ticker. USDT.D, which is tether dominance. That's like the DXY for crypto, in my opinion, since the dollar and Bitcoin have somewhat depegged, it seems, recently. Your stock indices, Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ. Your stock futures, your DXY, YM1, which is the Dow Jones, ES1, which is the S&P, NQ, which is the NASDAQ, and then just all the cryptos you are charting. Now, you can customize this however you want. You can do add, right? Plus there, you can just type it in, ADA. You want it to the watch list, just click the plus here, right? And then it'll add it to the watch list. And again, this is all highly customizable. If you want to change the names of the categories, right click, rename. If you want to, you can right click anywhere on here. You can add a section, add a symbol. You can change the flag colors, add Apple to what you can watch list. You can compare, add notes. You can click on that. You can get the financials, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. There's so much information here. But so if we right click this and we add a section, you can see it's just section 1 right here. So you can move all these around. You can drag them up. So I'm going to put these back up to crypto. And then you got your section. You can rename it to whatever you want. Let's just say you want boomerangs, right? You want gold, copper, silver, etc., etc. You can go and find the symbol. So if you want to add a symbol to that, you just right click it, hit add symbol. I'm going to hit all there. Let's just say silver. I'm just going to keep the simple right there. Hit the plus sign, boom, there you go. There's your silver on there. So you can do it the same. So if you want to add something to crypto, you can just highlight the crypto, add symbol, and then if you want Naka, right? You can find Naka, you're going to click on crypto. You got to get rid of the Kraken exchange because it's not on there. So you got to watch because sometimes you might have an exchange selected, but it's not on that exchange. So it's on MEXC. So I'm going to click that. Boom, there's Naka on there. And you can move these around any way you want, etc., etc. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy. You got an advanced view as well. If you want to click into that, you can. You can make copy, rename, clear the entire list, add a section. You can customize the columns, last, change percentage. You can do volume if you want, extended hours, logo, ticker. You can you can have the description shown if you want. So it's all highly customizable. Everything on here is customizable. So you can also, if you're charting a coin or something and you want to add it to watch list, you can just go up to the top left corner, highlight the coin on the chart, hit the little 3 dots menu, and you can add it to your watch list there. You can just click it. Now, it adds it to the bottom. So So you have to actually move it up to your crypto section if it's a crypto, or a stock if it's to your stock section. I'll play around with this a little bit. You can customize it completely, set it up, have fun with it. Like I kind of alluded to, you can have multiple watch lists too. So you can import a list if you're copying a list from someone, or someone wants you to share their list. But you can create a new list as well, and it'll save the old one. You can switch between them. I only have one. If you want to separate your stocks from your cryptos, you can do that. Below that, so they have, it's basically just like a window, a performance window. They give you the price on stocks. They give you stuff like volume, average volume, market cap, dividends yield, earnings, dividends, just lots of good information here. Technicals, analyst rating, website links. If you go to crypto, for example, it's a lot of the same. Volume, average volume, market cap, performance over the week, the month, the year. I wouldn't really pay too much attention to technicals here, but websites, the Reddit community, white paper, source code, stuff like that. So kind of cool to see. And then the percentage change on that current daily candle. So the last section of the chart, we're almost there before we start diving into some indicators and hotkeys and stuff like that. Last menu, the right side menu here. So the first one is just your watch list. It's just this menu here, which we just went over. The next one is any alerts you have set. You can remove them, add them, sort them, edit them, etc., etc. Next one is just data window. So all the data from the current chart is displayed here. The next one is hot list, just what's hot, right? Big changes in stocks, big changes in cryptos, etc., right? Snap, dropping huge. Tech is suffering today, it looks like quite a bit. So US exchanges, you can switch this, right? Lithuania, what have you. So the next one here is just a calendar, right? So it's going to take a second to load. This is the economic calendar. This is cool because it lets you know what's going to happen that day. So today we have a Fed rate interest rate decision, huge, and it tells you you can plan. You should know all this stuff. If you're going to be a trader, this stuff all moves markets, right? The FOMC meeting today is going to move the markets. The next one is ideas. I don't really use this a lot. You can add ideas, you can search ideas, etc., etc. You can publish ideas. I don't mess with this at all, right? Oops, let's go back to the charts there. And then after that, we have minds. All right. This is just people on. I don't use any of this stuff. So this is just people on here publishing. It's like Twitter. It's like TradingView's version of Twitter, right? Where people are kind of chatting back and forth. If you want, you can throw that up, check it out. Ideas, again, you have no notifications. You can add to the idea stream if you want. Right, you can follow people on TradingView. I don't really use that. Streams, live shows for traders. This, again, it's like a social media built into TradingView. Play around with it if you want. I don't really use it. Notifications here, we don't have any set. I don't mess with any of these kind of last few things. I don't really mess with the community inside of TradingView. If you want, go for it. But the last most important thing on here is the object tree. This is the hidden gem that most people do not use. Object tree lists and gives you the ability to nest everything you have on the menu. So let's say you're TAing Bitcoin. Let's say you're TAing a daily time frame, right? And you want that separate than your smaller time frames. So let's say like you have, you're just quick, right? So you have your support, you have your whatever resistance set up here, right, on the daily time frame, and you got a bunch of stuff drawn. You can take them, you can click this create a group of drawings, and it puts in a group. So you can drag all what you want into that group on there. You can rename this group if you want. Let's say day time frame, right? So here's what you can do. You can hide all those drawings, but they're saved. Make sure you hit save often. So now that'll always be there. So you got the day time frame, boom, there you go. So I'm going to show you mine and how I have my current one on this particular one layout set up. So as you can see, I have a lot of them turned off right now. I have everything turned off right now. So my current range has a lot in it. These are all key support and resistance levels that I need to know. I turn them on and they're all on there. These are all levels that I know what they are. You don't even know what they are right now. It's not important, but I can turn them on and off, and I can draw on the chart, do whatever I want right now, to chart it out in smaller time frames. And then I want to be aware of the bigger support and resistance levels. I can flip it on. And I have like bull levels for June bear market levels, etc., which have now carried into July since it's the same. So I haven't really changed them. So This is a very powerful tool. So also, if you have indicators down below, like Lux Algo, Market Cipher, RSI, and you draw on these as well, you can nest inside of there as well. So again, you just click the plus, create a group, put them in there, and then you can hide them, you can delete them, you can edit them. But this is like an organization tactic, an organization skill that you should get in the habit of doing and using. Just remember, I just deleted like the little scribbles I did. Anytime you do something, just save it. You're going to be doing yourself a favor, because if you click out of this now and you don't save it, it's still going to be there. But object trees, the very, very bottom left corner, these like three little squares here, right? Turns it off, turns it on. And if you want to go back to your watch list, you can just hit watch list. But object tree is so important. I use it. Use it, learn it, love it. I promise you, it's going to save you so much time and effort. You can save all your drawings. And remember, it's per chart. So your Bitcoin chart, you always grab your Bitcoin chart from the watch list. So if you change to Apple, for example, it's no longer there, right? It's only on the chart, which it saves it if you hit save to your Bitcoin chart. TradingView Hotkeys is the next big one. This is one that you should learn. A lot of these you're not going to use, but some of them you're going to use every single time, many times throughout your TA experience, daily experience. A lot of them, like Alt H will give you a horizontal line, Alt V will give you a vertical line, Control Z undoes what you just did, Control Y redoes it. So I'm not going to go over all these hotkeys, but I'm going to tell you to pull them up, study them, learn them, because you're going to want them. It's going to make it go quick. It's going to make it go fast. It's going to make your charting quick and fast. So I can't link down below yet, since this is a new channel. Google, I think it's like 30 days before you can put outbound links in the description below. Just Google TradingView Hotkeys, bookmark it, put it in a folder up top. I mean, you can see my folders up here. I mean, I'm pretty damn organized, right? Do it the same. Be organized. Take this seriously, and you'll be fine. But I'm not going to go over all the individual hotkeys. That's just dumb. You can Google it yourself, bookmark it, put it in a folder so you can go back and you can start learning the different hotkeys, because trust me, it makes life easier. So now this is going to be the last segment of this video. So we went over most of TradingView. We didn't cover it all. It's going to be impossible. That'd be a whole series on TradingView. A lot of stuff you have to learn for yourself. Kind of dive in. I got you the basic foundation, but we're going to talk about indicators now. So there is no right way to do this. There's a bunch of wrong ways to do it, but there's so many different trading strategies, arbitrage, trend trader, day trader, scalper. There's a million of them, right? But I'm going to give you what I think you should start off with, some of the basic, more fundamental ones to start. You're going to have to dig into them, what they mean, like RSI, that should be the first one you throw on there. You probably don't know what actually RSI means, even if it's already on your chart, but you should Google it, investopedia.com. Read the entire article and understand fundamentally what RSI is, and then do that for all the indicators. So I'll be honest with you, do not use a lot of these indicators, because I use expensive indicators, right? I use Lux Algo. I do use stuff like RSI, but a lot of this stuff I'm going to go over is just built into this. I'm not saying you have to buy Lux Algo or you have to buy Market Cipher. I'm going to give you some free alternatives. If you have the money, by all means, buy it. Lux Algo is amazing. Market Cipher is amazing. You're going to eventually, I promise you anyways. So if you have the money, they're expensive, right? They're very expensive, but it is worth it. So let's start off with a blank canvas here. So I don't use the volume bars on the bottom here. So I'm going to get rid of them. I get my volume stuff elsewhere, and that'll be in a later, probably the next video after this. So I get rid of that. Hit save, right? You want to hit save every time you change an indicator or anything. Blank canvas here. I'm going to go up to indicators, right? I'm going to type in RSI, relative strength index. I'm going to hit that favorites on there, and I'm going to throw it on the chart. You just click it. RSI is a separate. It's not on the actual chart. It's below it. Hit save. My template is all saved. So now we have RSI on there. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to just briefly explain it to you. So, and I'm colorblind, so if I get these colors wrong, my bad. But this yellow line is your simple moving average, the RSI simple moving average. The purple line is your RSI. Now, typically for stocks, this setup is fine. For crypto, I would go into settings. I would go into inputs, or actually style, I would make the upper band 80 and the lower band 20. You got to remember, crypto's different than stocks. While the TAs are exactly the same, the swings are a little bit more wild. So you want to make that oversold level a little bit higher and the undersold level, or overbought, whatever, a little lower. So there you go. So typically, this is just generally speaking with RSI. Once you cross over the simple moving average, price goes up. Once you cross below it, price goes down, as you can see here, right? We want to do a horizontal line right here. I'm sorry, a vertical line, Alt V. So that's where we crossed over and price went up. Where did we cross down? Right here, Alt V. And price has been going down since. So that's typically how you read RSI. So typically when you get on smaller time frames, like let's just go to the hourly time frame. Typically when you get up and approach being overbought, oversold, you're going to see a retracement. And when you get down towards the bottom, you're going to see a pump up. Not always, it's just one indicator. I'm generally speaking. Reply guys, shut up. I'm just generally speaking. That's how RSI works. But look into it. That's the first one you should throw on there. The next one you want to throw on there is Market Cipher. It is a paid indicator. There's a free knockoff version. So if you type in VMC, it's right here. It's VuManChu Cipher B plus divergences. So you want to highlight that. And then VuManChu Cipher A. You're going to want to favorite that. So you're going to want to click on B. There it goes. Click on A. There you go. Hit save. Again, you're going to need to dig into what these indicators do. And believe it or not, these indicators are, even the indicators within TradingView are highly customizable, right? From inputs, which I wouldn't really mess with at first. I would just start learning them to begin with, to the colors, to visibility. And down here, you just highlight over it. You can click on it. These are all highly customizable as well. I would not mess with them. I would start to just learn them first. And as you grow and adapt and learn, then you can adjust. So on top of that, there's a bunch of symbols on here. Bunch of dots, green dot, red dots. That should probably be pretty obvious. Bullish, bearish. These, not so much. You can just Google Cipher B legend or Cipher A legend, right? So if we're going to click on it, this is what it means. Manipulation typically could be spoofing of orders. There's a lot of reasons why, but typically they're larger order manipulation of the market. If you see a yellow X, it probably means we're coming down or we're going down quickly. This is long, short, reversal of previous trend, bullish continuation, bearish continuation. If you don't know what something is, yeah, Google it. You know, thank God for Google or Bing it or whatever. But that's what these symbols mean on Cipher A. And you can just turn this off and on if you want by just hitting the little eyeball on the actual indicator. But you can, you know, like I said, so you got to kind of learn what these things mean. I don't want to go over what every single indicator means during this video because, again, this would take forever. You'll start learning this stuff throughout the series and on your own. Down here, Cipher B is very, very important. These momentum waves are your momentum waves. This is RSI. The yellow is your VWAP. When it's down below the zero line here, pointed down, people are selling. When it's above it, people are buying. Momentum waves is just momentum. We're in a bullish momentum or we're in a bearish momentum. Red dot, green dots, sell, buy. And then the red line, and then going back here, you can see it a little bit here, but boy, it's been a while since we've been green. Here you can see it on the daily time frame. So this is your money flow. Money coming in, money coming out. Bullish, are we bearish? People selling, are people buying? You can spot things like bearish divergences here. Like, you know, here, bearish divergence. Sometimes it pulls it for you automatically. So powerful indicators, learn them, use them, love them. I promise you, you can make money just by using these 3 indicators. With the free plan, you can only have 3 indicators. So we are maxed out here. So if you would need more indicators, you either have to turn some off, turn some on, or make indicator templates. So again, you can save this one. Actually, we'll just save this one to the one we already saved it to, which was the RSI. There we go. RSI. Save. Can't even save. Oh, you can do one. You can only do one, apparently, on the free version. I'm telling you guys, you got to go with at least the Pro or the Pro Plus. So I'm going to flip over to my chart and show you. So the last 2 really that you should start off with is VRVP, which is the volume range visible profile. So that's this stuff on the right. Boom, boom. See, turn off, on. It gets you your POC, your value area high, value area low, all these colors, everything's customizable. But lets you know where there's historically, not currently, historically been heavy volume and low volume. So historically, there's no volume here in the visible range, right? Sometimes you have to zoom out. But, so if we start breaking up, when we get past 29,371, it's likely that we scoot right up to this heavy range of volume. That's how you would use that. So the next one is your moving averages. Very, very important. 20 or 21, 50, 100, 200. So VRVP, star it, put it on, and then multiple, whoops, I'm spelling wrong, multiple moving averages. Using only one indicator right here. Star it, throw it on there, right? And you can customize it, change the colors, but you should have all those on your chart. So those are the 5 indicators I want you to focus on and learn before moving on to any other ones. Market Cipher A, VMC, VuManChu, Cipher A, Cipher B plus divergences, VRVP, moving averages, multiple moving averages with one indicator, specifically that one, and then RSI. Learn those inside and out before you move on to another one. We're going to cover many indicators in this series. We're going to explain the indicators. We're going to eventually talk about how to take entries, how to properly TA, how to gauge the market, how to trend trade and do different kinds of trading, arbitrage. We're going to cover it all. Trust me. But you don't want to jump ahead, man. It's like reading a textbook, right? You don't jump to the last page. You gotta start at the beginning and work your way out. You need to know this stuff inside and out. It's a good starting point. These are 5 solid indicators that you can be an expert trader off of just using those indicators. You can make money off of. So learn them, use them, love them, customize your chart, play around with it, dive into these indicators, learn them, Google them, make them work for you. That's it for today's video. I think 45 minutes, 50 minutes, almost an hour-long video is more than enough. If you made it this far, I appreciate you guys. Toss those thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be back for more. We're going to start getting into the nitty-gritty stuff, I promise you. But we gotta get this stuff out of the way first. And for some of you guys, I know this is a repeat. I have made one of these series before, and the channel was previously on. But this is more in depth. I've learned more, how to talk to a camera more, and get my points across more. So you probably picked up something. And then discord.gg/Alpha Aere. First 100 people in are going to be grandfathered into any type of pay gate I do in the future for free for lifetime. Hop on in. We'll be back. The next video is going to be covering a few off of TradingView charts, like Kingfisher, Agar trade, some free stuff where you can get some sweet information on crypto that all your alpha traders use. Before we start getting into, really specific indicators, how to use them, how to gauge the market, my TA process, and then we get into some advanced strategies and stuff like that. So there's a lot more coming. Trust me, promise you, appreciate you guys. That's it for today. Hope you learned something new, maybe picked up a thing or two. I bet you a lot of you weren't using object tree. So that's it. I'm rambling now. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.